In a world where mental health is now becoming a hot topic, and looking at these statistics, and that too, especially in the context of our nation. So, 1 out of 3 people in India suffers from depression, and 15% of the adults in India require treatment for mental health disorders. It seems the issue is big. People are facing it. But what I believe is that when it comes to sharing their emotions, they want someone who can listen to them without any judgment. And when they don't find someone who can listen to them and understand them, they start suppressing their emotions, which at a later stage starts disturbing them a lot. And this is something which I know I am talking on this topic like since last 1.5 year or 2 years, right? Awareing the students through whom I am connected with, right? But still, one video particularly I was looking, I think 2-3 days back. I don't remember the exact name of that guy, but he is a guy from Pune, maybe, right? And he was giving his interview on YouTube channel Zindagi with Richa. That is quite popular channel if you know it, right? So I was looking at his interview, and he was mentioning like how he was in the depression, and the only part was like there was no one around him with whom he can share his emotions, and that freely, without any kind of judgment, without even any kind of what I believe now. In certain situations, there is nothing you want as a solution. You only want to flow your emotions
Yes.
completely freely, so that you don't have that kind of baggage inside you, right? And
Yes.
that's how he started the listeners army kind of campaign, and he is doing a very great volunteer service in terms of letting people aware about these aspects and listening their stories, and even sometimes paying them back as they are sharing their stories, paying them back. And even he is not asking any question like what is your name, where do you live, what kind of work you do, so that there should not be any judgmental kind of bias, right? So with this little start, my first question to you is again like to start with, what are your views on this kind of or these kind of statistics, and how do you see such challenges?
Raunak, of course, the statistics, numbers don't lie, right? As simple as that. If the statistics are there, that's what is happening. That's what the reality is. Maybe we don't go to the grassroots level, so we don't understand that what is actually happening. But when we look at statistics is a reflection of the reality. And what you just mentioned about people are going through those depressive phases, and they're going through the ups and downs. They don't know what to do. We don't want to be judged, etc., etc. See, the problem is, Raunak, no one has taught us how to handle these phases. When you look at our education system, we learn about science, maths, we learn about history, geography, physics, this and that. What about the internal dynamics? There is no such subject which talks about how to handle your emotion, your emotional intelligence. There is no subject on emotional intelligence in schools. There is no subject on how to shift your focus, or how to manage your thoughts, how to master your inner voice. What to do when you feel judged, what to do when you feel low, how to channelize your energy, how to channelize your emotions. I think if this basic manual of how to handle this machine, this software that we have, we know how to handle our mobile phones, we know how to handle our gadgets, but how to handle this mechanism, we don't know that. And no one is teaching us that. No one has taught us that. And that's the reason when some challenge of that particular nature comes up, we are confused. We exactly don't know what to do. It is like, you have a very fantastic gadget in your hand. Someone gifts you, right? And you have not seen that gadget ever. That is like some futuristic gadget you get in a gift. You open up the gift. You are so excited, but you don't know what to do with it. Because number one, you don't know what that gadget is. You don't know what it is going to do. What's the purpose of it? How to start it? You don't know anything. and there is no manual also with that. So you are confused what to do. So either you do something and you break it, or either you just keep it on the side, pack it again. Similar thing is happening with us also. So today children, you see youth, they are feeling some kind of emotions, they feel triggered, there's something that is going on inside. It is like that futuristic gift. Something is happening to them, but now they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to switch it on. They don't know how to switch it off. They don't know what to do. So what they do is they shut themselves. They isolate themselves. And that's where slowly the transition of getting into from acute depression to chronic depression to sadness, it all begins. So I think, yes, the statistics are not lying, but there has to be a system, the entire education system, there has to be some shift wherein these core skills are included in the curriculum. So children, right from their childhood, they know how to deal with it. Raunak.
Wonderful. Very right. You have said like since beginning we haven't taught like how to handle these emotions, right? And especially what I remember from my childhood, like when I used to be in such a kind of situations where I'm feeling like I have not get something what I wanted to get, or I used to start weeping or some sort of that I used to do. So there used to be one thing which I remembered, like my eldest sister used to say like, whatever he is saying, whatever if he is crying, he wants to be, let him do. Because if we are going to ask in between, we are going to judge in between, we are going to give remedy or solution in between, there is no benefit of that. Let him be, let him cry, let him say whatever he wants to say. And that is one thing where at least he is free from that emotional stage what he is going through. And then later on, you can see what kind of solution he is trying to figure out, or what kind of things he wanted to get. So sometimes I realize like that is something right now is not happening with the people. They are saying something in between. I as an the listener, or maybe I as a person who is listening, maybe I will intervene in between, or maybe I will try to offer some solution or some sort of that, right? Without even understanding what is that complete kind of emotions going on in their head, right? So again, the next question is again in the same context, like what do you see as the most probable solution? So one, like you have already said, like complete education system needs to be shifted towards or oriented towards that kind of awareness, right? But when it comes to again, like in terms of questions, so what other kind of alternatives or solutions do you see when it comes to such kind of emotional traumas?
See, the thing is, Raunak, honestly, there's no black and white answer for this, because every emotion or every experience need a curated and a customized handling, right? So, for example, if a person is angry, there is a different way to handle and to manage that state. If a person is sad, there's a different way to handle and manage it. But as you rightly said, that mindful listening is therapeutic. Listening without judgment is therapeutic. When someone is trying to see, what we do is when someone is trying to say something, we already judge. Number one, in fraction of seconds we judge. Number two, we are creating an answer in our mind. And number three, even before that person finishes the question or narrating the incident, we start giving solution. Maybe sometimes, as you rightly said, maybe sometimes people are not looking out for solution. They are just trying to empty themselves. They are just emptying themselves. The process of puking out is on. So when a person is puking out, you don't bring a piece of sweet or chocolate and put it in his or her mouth. You let them empty themselves. So you don't even have to do anything. You just be there. That psychological safety, that psychological support is required sometimes. They are not even looking out for an answer sometimes, right? So I would say, see, of course, every situation has a different way of handling and support that is required. But mindful listening, you just be there with a person who needs that kind of support, that can do the magic.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Alok. And what I can say at conclusion, that mindfulness listening is the key, and that's what we at Gyaannirudra also practice, and that's why we invite individuals from all age groups to share their creations in terms of stories, poems, photographs, arts of all forms, such as paintings, drawings, sketches, etc., so that their soulful inventions can assist others to find hope as well as inspire them to walk on the golden brick road that leads to a peaceful personal life and a successful professional life. And the joy and fame that come with it are tangential to our aim, but definitely act as an incentive. And the whole motive behind giving such opportunities to the youth, or any sort of individuals from the community, is very simple: to help them reflect their emotions, express their emotions in a much better way, so that they can not carry that emotional baggage with them that is hindering them from progressing in their career or life or whatever it is, right? So with this, let me conclude this session. Thank you, Alok, for joining in and sparing your valuable time with us and sharing some wisdom nuggets from your experience on entrepreneurship, mental health, and lot more. Thank you all.